Hello YouTube, Jerry Kirkpatrick here, and the next thing to do on the disc grinder is install the forward and reverse drum switch that will be just above and a little bit to the side of the original switch. So let's get over to the disc grinder. I'll show you where this is going to be mounted and how to make the bracket that will go from the original switch and keep this switch in the proper position. Okay, so here we can see the original switch, and we're quite lucky in that the new switch, the drum switch, can be placed with this side, flush with this side. The top of the original switch can be flush with the bottom of the new one, and it's actually the perfect place to reach it from in front of the grinder. So let me get this set up. All I need is a magnet. Get it flush with the top here. There's a little flange right there where the outside cover is slightly inside of the case itself, so I can just line that up there. That gets me the outside of this flush with the outside here. The surface here, I can move this forward just a little bit, and now these two surfaces are flush. So next, let me take these loose, get the wires, get the switch, get everything out of this box, and then I can set this up. I'll have all these wires out of here. I'll leave these connected back here because I have 3 wires coming in after I do the wiring diagram, which will probably be in the next video. At that point, I'll know how many wires are going to have to come from the drum switch into the motor. So let me get this original switch box cleaned out, and I'll bring you right back. So now that I have everything out of the box here, what I want to do is put a 1032 riv nut here and here. I was hoping to be able to get them up in here somewhere, but there's so much radius that the only place that there's a flat that I can drill a hole and get a good seat for the riv nut is right here and over here. So first I'm going to just draw a line straight across. And I want the first riv nut 1/2 inch in. And the second one will be 1.5 inches in from that side. So let me get these drilled and the nutserts installed. And while I'm at it, I'm going to put a couple of nutserts in the top of the drum switch also, and that will give me 2 points of reference on the drum switch and 2 points of reference on the original switch. And those 4 points is what will determine what this bracket looks like. Okay, now that I have my nutserts in all 4 places, these give me reference points for both the lower box, the original box, and the new one. So what I'm going to do is make a AutoCAD drawing of this box, showing where these 2 1032 riv nuts are, and then I'll make another drawing exactly of the drum switch here with the location of these 2 riv nuts. And by having those 2 drawings all finished, when I come back, I will put the drum box in position, and then I'll make all of my measurements from this edge to the center of this hole, and then from this edge to, well, either the side and bottom to give me the height, or this side to that center, and that will tell me where in space this box is. Okay, so I've put both of the pieces in place. I mean, we have now the original and the drum switch. And because I have 2 of these cord restraints that will be going under here, I decided to raise it 3/8 of an inch, as you can see here. So luckily I can bring this edge up even with this edge, and in order to get the measurement from the bottom, we can use the piece of 1x2 rectangle tube or the box itself. So in order to find this corner here, I have one line drawn from here, and this one is projected out from here. So with those 2 lines, I can find this corner. So we know that the width of this box is 1 7/8. So that automatically gives us this dimension of 1 7/8. We know the height of this box is 4 inches, plus the 3/8 spacer that we have to get this up where the knob is in the right place. All we have to do is measure from the bottom here to the bottom of this. So we have 4 3/4 inches. So I came off 3/8 of an inch down, 3/8 of an inch up from both the original box, and I came 1/16 of an inch down from the top here, a 1/16 of an inch over, 1/16 of an inch over, 3/8 of an inch down from the center, and then just connected all of these lines. And that gave me a picture of what the bracket to connect these 2 pieces will look like. And I have a 1/2 inch circle drawn at each of the inside angles, so I get a nice radius in there. All of the other corners will get a radius ground just by eye. And I'm also wanting a bead, a stiffening bead that will run from the top of the drum switch down to here. So now that I have a drawing of what it's going to take to get these two switches connected, let's get over here to the layout table and I'll get the thing cut out and glued to the piece of metal that I have ready to go here. Okay, so here we have the piece glued to a piece of 16 gauge, and we have the places for all of the 1032 screws to go through. Going to be a 1/2 inch hole drilled here and here to radius off that corner. I want to put a bead down through the center here to stiffen the piece somewhat, and the bead has to be raised from the back side, and I wouldn't be able to see where the center line was, so I've drawn this second line here so I can keep the edge of the female die following this line. So the first thing I'm going to do is center punch using my optical center punch. And here it is, all cut out with the appropriate holes drilled, a little radius in these corners. I'll take and file, or whatever it takes to make these corners blend. We have a little bend right here from the Beverly shear. Luckily, that's about the only one. There might be a little bit right here, but nothing to speak about. And then just by eye, I'm going to radius off all of these outside corners. And when I get those radiused off, I'll run that bead down the center here. When I get that done, we'll come back and try it on the disc grinder itself. So now we have the switch installed on the disc grinder. The next thing we'll be doing is doing the wiring, which should be quite interesting to figure out how many wires have to come from the motor to the drum switch and then back out to utilize the forward and reverse mode that is on the motor. I've got quite a few drawings of how other people have done it, but it's going to be a trial and error for me. If any of you have a tried and true wiring schematic for wiring up the drum switch for a swimming pool pump motor using 110, I'd like to hear from you. I think before I get into wiring what I have here, I'm going to take the switch up, not apart, but off of my lathe, and then see if I can see how the wires are run to the motor. The back of the lathe is right up against the wall, so I'm not sure that I can do it. I might be able to pull it away from the wall a little bit and then see what wires are connected where. And I'm hoping that there's the same schematic for reversing, at least on mine, is the red and the black. I'll have to see what it is on the Grizzly motor. So that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, ring the bell. I'd really appreciate a cup of coffee. See you later.